Y'all gotta stop. Y'all really need to stop. Angel McCoughtry done lost her goddamn mind. She done lost her mind. Respectfully, you done lost your mentals, mama. You tripped out. First of all, Asia Wilson started this whole thing, which is complete BS and nonsense. This should never be a conversation, and it wouldn't be a conversation. We would just be talking about how great and entertaining we think Caitlin Clark is. We just be talking about how dominant Asia Wilson is. We just be talking about how nice Paige Beckers is. But no,
the former NBA star completely lost it live on air. Angel McCoughtry's outburst wasn't just fiery, it was a full-scale rant, blasting men for their obsession over the WNBA versus NBA debate. She erupted after Michael Porter Jr. dared to speak his mind. But here's the twist. The chaos didn't start with MPJ or some random male athlete. It began with an even bigger name, and the fallout has been explosive. McCoughtry's meltdown was just the latest shockwave in a controversy that's rattled the entire basketball world, igniting a war of words no one saw coming. Wait a second.
Entertaining we think Caitlin Clark is. We just be talking about how dominant Asia Wilson is. We just be talking about how nice Paige Beckers is. But no, Asia Wilson started this, Angel McCoughtry. Don't forget that. She went on and said she could beat NBA players one-on-one. We tried to ignore it. People tried to ignore it, but y'all wanted to keep going on and on. But then when a guy actually addresses it honestly and isn't pandering like Patrick Beverly was, y'all get mad. We got to break this down, man. I got to show y'all the tape where it started and where it ended up. We gonna run through.
Let's back up. While Angel McCoughtry was busy blasting Michael Porter Jr. over his seemingly harmless comments, she completely overlooked the real spark that set this entire chaos in motion. The truth, the current WNBA versus NBA debate, the very topic she claims men are obsessed with, didn't even start with some random male athlete voicing an opinion. In fact, the whole controversy that eventually led to her explosive rant was ignited by none other than WNBA superstar Aja Wilson. That's right, Aja Wilson was the one who set this firestorm ablaze.
Like Patrick Beverly was, y'all get mad. We gotta break this down, man. I gotta show y'all the tape where it started and where it ended up. We gonna run through this film. You about to get this work. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video as always. Let's get right into things. So we have ex-WNBA player Angel McCoughtry going on a tirade about Michael Porter saying how he was destroying WNBA players when he was in the 8th grade, which isn't a surprise to us. It shouldn't be a big deal. It's not a big deal. Y'all,
it might not seem like a huge deal at first, but it all started with a bold, almost shocking claim from Aja Wilson. She openly said she could take on an NBA player, specifically New York Knicks forward Josh Hart, in a one-on-one matchup, predicting a final score of 11-8 in her favor. This wasn't some private comment. She made it public, throwing down the challenge for everyone to see. People tried to brush it off as playful banter, but the gauntlet was officially laid down. The moment she spoke those words, she unknowingly unleashed Pandora's box, sparking the exact comparisons and debates that Angel McCoughtry would later erupt over.
Play 8 to 11. Me.
So she's saying she can beat New York Knicks forward Josh Hart in a one-on-one 8 to 11. We all know it's nonsense. We let her get it off. We left it alone. Patrick Beverly, you have a part to play in this as well. We are going to get to you. So she's saying she can beat New York Knicks forward Josh Hart in a one-on-one. We all know good and goddamn well Asia Wilson can't beat none of these NBA players. Stop playing games.
I get ball first.
While most people tiptoed around Aja Wilson's bold claim, one voice cut through the chatter with brutal honesty. Former NBA point guard Jeff Teague didn't sugarcoat anything. He kept it 100% real. When asked about Wilson's challenge, his answer was blunt and unambiguous. No way, she can't. Teague's point was simple. Respect both men's and women's basketball for their unique greatness without forcing a matchup that doesn't make sense. But his straightforward honesty was just the calm before the storm, the prelude to the chaos that would soon explode.
Josh Hart in a one-on-one. We all know good and goddamn well Asia Wilson can't beat none of these NBA players. Stop playing games.
I get ball first.
You get ball first.
She does get ball
You're
first.
not gonna get it back. I'm not saying I'm gonna go like you gonna go scoreless, but 8-11, I feel like it's pretty solid. So what do you think it'll be, Josh? Don't piss me off.
And probably like 11-2.
You're sick.
I'll say probably like
11-2 is what he really meant. Now he's about to be nice because he don't want to offend anybody.
11-7.
Okay.
Then Patrick Beverley entered the scene, a seasoned NBA veteran who decided to pour fuel on the smoldering fire. On his podcast, Pat Bev Pod, he openly chased attention, claiming that Aja Wilson might actually beat certain NBA players. This wasn't a genuine analysis, it was a calculated provocation, a move designed purely to stir engagement. By this point, most people had moved on. The conversation about Wilson's challenge had already died down, but Beverley, in his hunt for clicks, dragged it back into the spotlight, reigniting the heated debate and turning an already awkward discussion upside down. His pandering shifted the entire narrative.
And starts pandering because he's pandering for views or whatever he's doing. He's over there pandering on his podcast, talking about, I think Asia Wilson can beat some NBA players. Patrick Beverley, knock it off. Knock it off. You are a respected player, heart and soul, from the crib, from the city of Chicago. And you know damn well she can't beat no NBA players. And by pandering and doing that on camera, all you're doing is dragging this conversation on. Nobody was even talking about this anymore. It was done. It was over. Patrick Beverley starts pandering, saying Asia Wilson can beat NBA players.
Beverley's pandering didn't go unnoticed. It immediately caught the eye of another NBA star, Michael Porter Jr. Seeing Beverley's attention-grabbing comments, MPJ couldn't stay silent. He called him out directly. "Man, you're tripping, Pat Bev. You know she can't beat any of us." Then came the infamous line that would spark Angel McCoughtry's explosive reaction. "I was destroying girls like this back in 8th grade." It was raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest, a response to a debate that had been artificially revived. And just like that, the fuse was lit, setting the stage for the next eruption.
Nobody was even talking about this anymore. It was done. It was over. Patrick Beverley starts pandering, saying Asia Wilson can beat NBA players. Michael Porter then says, "Man, you are tripping, Pat Bev. You know she can't beat none of us. I was destroying these type of women when I was in 8th grade. And now all of a sudden, Angel McCoughtry has lost her mind. She's lost her mind now." Let's take a look at what she had to say.
Angel, why are men so obsessed with this conversation?
First of all, congratulations. You was dominating against women in the 8th grade. What does he want?
And she blew up big time. Angel McCoughtry, former WNBA star, went on a full-blown tirade, directing her fury squarely at Michael Porter Jr. She called out his intentions, his ego, and even questioned why the debate existed at all. Her rant was a fierce defense of women's basketball, yet it completely missed the real origin of the controversy. She attacked MPJ as if he were the sole instigator, overlooking the entire chain of events that had led to his comment. The internet watched in awe as she unleashed a storm of raw, unfiltered outrage.
You're trying to play she started this conversation. Men did not start and create this conversation. Asia Wilson she started it. What are you talking? Now you're talking about cycles. You're talking about all types of come on, bro.
Load manage off a headache, uplifting her. I think the main thing we should be talking about, a woman, guess what? When I gotta come and drop 40 and I'm on my fucking period and I'm bleeding and my stomach hurts and my back hurts, when y'all load manage off a headache, let's talk about how awesome that is. Let's talk about how awesome it is that women, we have these babies.
Angel McCoughtry's central question, asked with fiery indignation, was simple. Why are men so obsessed with this debate? She turned her ire toward Michael Porter Jr., sarcastically asking if he deserved a cookie for dominating girls in 8th grade. Her framing implied that MPJ had randomly attacked WNBA players out of some deep-seated male ego, but this version conveniently ignored the real context. The truth? Michael Porter Jr. didn't appear out of nowhere. He was responding to a conversation artificially resurrected by Patrick Beverley's pandering. Beverley had fanned the flames of a debate that began with Aja Wilson's initial bold claim that she could beat an NBA player. To paint MPJ as the sole instigator was a misrepresentation of events, a selective twisting of the timeline to fit a narrative. The pattern was clear. Male athletes were reacting, not initiating. Former NBA star Jay White Chocolate Williams made this obvious when he appeared on Beverly's podcast and directly challenged him, even claiming his old high school team could beat a WNBA starting five. This wasn't an attack on women, it was a rebuttal to Beverly's hype, showing that men were responding to claims, not creating them. As Angel's argument against MPJ lost momentum, she shifted tactics, introducing biological factors. She spoke about menstruation, premenstrual symptoms, and the physical strain of competing while injured, implying that these challenges made the one-on-one comparison inherently unfair. It was a clear attempt to move the goalposts. The speaker didn't buy it. His response was blunt. I don't want to hear about your cycle and all that. The point was simple. If a woman publicly claims she can beat an NBA player one-on-one, male athletes have every right to respond to that basketball-specific claim without the conversation being derailed by unrelated factors. The discussion was about basketball, pure and simple. Angel then highlighted the incredible resilience of women, dropping 40 points while dealing with physical discomfort, returning to dominate after childbirth, and juggling family responsibilities. Her goal was to shift the focus to the awe-inspiring accomplishments of female athletes rather than hypothetical matchups against men. Her intention was to uplift, but the method misfired. The speaker agreed wholeheartedly. The achievements of female athletes are extraordinary and deserve celebration. Nobody disputed that, but he drew a crucial distinction. Honoring women's resilience doesn't grant immunity from honest responses when specific audacious claims are made. You can't make an extraordinary statement about beating male players and then demand silence. It's a double standard. Angel further expanded her argument, noting the added challenges female athletes face managing family and career, framing these achievements as inherently more impressive. Yet the underlying lesson remained. Incredible accomplishments and one-on-one claims are separate conversations and both deserve to be treated fairly in context. This was another attempt to frame the debate as an unfair comparison, suggesting male athletes face fewer challenges and domestic responsibilities. The implication was clear: women juggle more. The speaker quickly pushed back, calling Angel's argument out as misguided. He noted that many NBA players are also husbands and fathers, managing households, supporting their families, and still dominating at the highest level of sport. Domestic responsibilities aren't exclusive to female athletes. Many men shoulder enormous pressures too. In other words, the struggle isn't one-sided. The playing field isn't tilted the way Angel claimed. In a final push, Angel invoked Kobe Bryant, holding him up as a standard for male athletes, saying he always uplifted women and never engaged in debates like this. She suggested Michael Porter Jr.'s comments were disrespectful, a violation of true sportsmanship, and implied men should only speak positively about female athletes no matter the circumstances. The speaker wasn't buying it. He cut through the deflections and emotional appeals. The real issue wasn't male obsession or disrespect. It was Aja Wilson's bold claim that started the entire conversation. Wilson openly said she could beat NBA players. That was the spark, and everything else was a reaction. Angel's attempts to shift blame and introduce unrelated topics only highlighted her unwillingness to confront the original challenge. Still refusing to acknowledge the debate's origin, Angel challenged MPJ to practice with them for a day to understand the rigor of the WNBA, implying his comments came from ignorance. This was a classic deflection, questioning his knowledge instead of addressing the substance of his response. But the speaker called it out as delusional. MPJ would dominate. The deeper issue, he argued, is a mindset problem among some WNBA players. The belief that they can make extraordinary claims about beating NBA players, yet demand immunity from honest responses. Expecting men to pretend these claims are true creates a toxic double standard, where only one side is allowed to speak freely, even when the controversy originated with their own statement. In short, it's a drama built on denial.